Hi everyone, it's Rachel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you what we received in the latest Sophie and Toffee Pixie Box, as well as show you how to make a craft using the supplies included. So the Pixie Box is a brand new subscription box released by Sophie and Toffee, and as you can see it comes in a very pretty holographic box. So just a little bit of information about the Pixie Box for you. It's different from the Elves Box, which I usually show on my videos, in that it's a surprise subscription box and you don't know the items that you will be receiving. It includes the newest trending supplies around a certain theme. So the theme for this one that I'm going to be showing you today is the ocean, and this box is also affordable and much cheaper than the Elves Box too. It's suitable for both beginners and experienced crafters who enjoy receiving a surprise treat each month. So in this month's Pixie Box we received a mini treasure box silicone mold, blue fine glitter, a seashell pot silicone mold, mermaid pearls, hinges, a dolphin silicone mold, mermaid confetti, a stone or crystal silicone mold, a block silicone mold, seashell open bezel charms, seashell embellishments, white and blue alcohol ink, ocean themed stickers, a miniature turtle, green glitters, a bottle of sand, shell glitter, colourful starfish, and finally a mini island pendant mold. So now moving on to the tutorial for this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make an ocean themed crystal with a little turtle inside. One of the good things about these Pixie Boxes is that it doesn't come with a specific project, so it is very open-ended and you really get to use your creativity when coming up with what to make. So to begin, I took my miniature turtle that came in the box and I'm going to be starting off by painting it. So here I have a makeup sponge which I've cut into small pieces, and this is what I'm going to be using to apply on the paint with. I then took my mixture of acrylic paint in the colours that I wanted to use, and I picked up the paint using the little pieces of makeup sponge and just tapped the colours over the turtle. I tried to make it like a gradient, so I placed the colours next to the other colours that they would blend really well with, and this is also the advantage of using the sponges rather than using a paintbrush, which is harder to blend paint with. I then used some darker shades of these same colours just to paint on small shapes and some little stars to kind of look like a galaxy, and then I just let all the paint dry. Next, I grabbed the gemstone silicone mold as well as the craft sand that came in the box, and also this diamond LED resin. I firstly poured a thin layer of the UV resin into the mold, and then I added a sprinkle of the sand and mixed this together. Then it was time to add some details, so I used my pliers to help me add everything inside the mold and position them where I wanted. So I started with a small seashell which I had in my craft supplies, and then I also added a few of the rainbow mermaid pearls, as well as little gold pieces and a broken shell that was included in the Pixie Box. And then finally I finished it off with a few pieces of craft moss to kind of look like coral or seaweed. I then cured the resin with my UV light to help hold it all in place. Then it was time to create the water for my ocean, so I poured my UV resin into a silicone mold and I mixed in a tiny amount of blue pigment, which I picked up with a toothpick because I only wanted it to be very, very light blue. So I mixed the toothpick around in the resin, and you'll notice that my resin seemed quite thick. This is because when I was filming this video, the room I was in was quite cold, so it caused my resin to become very thick, and in turn I do have quite a few bubbles in the resin. So what I should have done before mixing in the blue pigment was let my resin bottle soak in a bath of warm water to help heat it up a little and make it more runny to avoid the bubbles. But unfortunately I didn't do that. So anyway, I poured the blue resin into the mold and I filled it up about halfway. Then I placed it in my turtle and I cured the resin so that it wouldn't sink to the bottom. I then filled up the remainder of the mold and I cured it under my UV light. Once the resin had hardened, I then removed the gemstone from the mold, and as you can see there are quite a few bubbles from me not warming up the resin prior to using it, but I'm going to pretend that they were intentional and I put them there to make it look like the turtle caused them as it was swimming. I then really wanted to emphasize the gemstone a little more, so I poured out some white acrylic paint and then I just applied this to the edges of the crystal where the different faces met, and I did this using my needle tool to help make the lines nice and thin. Once the paint was dry, I then used a UV varnish sealer and I just brushed this onto the crystal. You can see here that I've also got the crystal just blue tacked onto another piece of resin, and that's just so I can easily move it around. So here is what my finished ocean crystal looks like once it's completely finished. Despite the bubbles in the blue resin, I really like how this piece turned out. I think the colours that I used on the turtle look really pretty, and it's something a bit different compared to the colours on a regular turtle. Even though it is kind of hard to see in the crystal shape, I also really like the ocean floor that I created with the sand and the shells, coral, and also the rainbow pearls. So that is the new Sophie and Toffee Pixie Box, and that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for lots more crafty videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.